Oh, what the hell? That's how you load it? Forward and back? Oh, that is wild. Hello, my friends, it's FPS Russia again, and today we're going to be shooting every single weapon from the Russian Federation. No, I'm not FPS Russia. But I do miss him, and we're going to be stepping into his shoes for today to shoot all of these different weapons from the Russian Federation. We have quite a selection to choose from with all of these different modern AKs and AK variants. We've got auto shotties, regular shotties, and we've got machine pistols, regular pistols, heavy machine guns, grenade launchers, mounted machine guns. Is that mounted? I don't know. Then we have anti-material rifles, snipers, all kinds of good stuff. We're going to be firing all of them at these targets over here. So let's get started. First, we have the AK-01, introduced in 1995. It shoots a 5.56 by 45 NATO and has a pretty decent looking sight on there. Let's see how she fires. Nice. Fun little rifle. Very neat, modern version of the AK. Next, we have the AK-12 with a collapsible and foldable stock. Pretty neat having both of those options. Introduced in 2018, this shoots a 5.45 by 39 Soviet. Much faster fire rate. Then we have the AK-12 prototype. Also includes a collapsible stock, but does not fold. Introduced in 2011, shooting 5.45 by 39. Unique thing about this is it has a charging handle on both sides, unlike most AKs. Three-round burst and full auto. Next, we have the AKM Tactical. This one was introduced in 2012 and shoots 7.62 by 39 Soviet. Much slower fire rate on this one. Then we have the AKS-74U, very unique, tactical looking AK with a smaller platform, foldable stock, red dot on the top and a red dot on the side. Really neat little package. You might recognize this one as the AS Val. Introduced in 1987, it shoots a 9 by 39 millimeter. Very, very quiet. But not a huge magazine. You'll probably recognize this one from Battlefield. This is the AEK-971. Introduced in 1990, it shoots a 5.45 by 39 Soviet. Three-round burst and full auto. A bit of a modern one. This was introduced in 2018. This is the AM-17 with a collapsible stock as well as a foldable one. Shoots 5.45 by 39. Look at that charging handle. Big hunkin' one. Very nice. Then we have the PP-19 Vityaz. Introduced in 2004. Shoots a 9 by 19 Parabellum. Really neat looking one. I love this thing. You'll probably recognize this one from Call of Duty, the Ash 12. Introduced in 2010, this shoots a 12.7 by 55 millimeter TP. Really unique looking bullpup. With quite the kick. Very nice. The last of our AK variants, the SR3M, introduced in 1996, shoots a 9 by 39 millimeter. Really hard to see the dot on this one. Really neat 9mm looking AS Val kind of thing. Next we have the Sega 12. I'm sure a lot of you will recognize this one. Look at that super long mag. Introduced in 1997, shoots a 12 gauge shotgun shell. Look at this thing. Absolute space gun here, and the magazine is just ridiculous. Semi and fully auto. Oh, we're shooting slugs out of this? With a 3-round burst? Interesting how quick the 3-round burst is versus the full auto. Very, very different. Then we have the TOZ 1994, shooting a 12 gauge shotgun round. This one is wild. You actually push the grip forward to reload. You fire, then you have to pull it back to load the second one. Just like that. This one was introduced in 1994. It is really weird going forward and then backward instead of backward and then forward. Just completely weird. This is the RB12, introduced in 1995, also a 12 gauge shotgun. I don't know if this is actually a real thing. It looks fake, so I guess we're just gonna find out. Oh, what the hell? That's how you load it? Forward and back? Oh, that is wild. Oh, that's horrible. That is just disgusting. Then we have the KWG1. Probably recognize this from a couple video games. It is a fully auto and semi-auto handheld 12 gauge. Nice. This one should look familiar as well. The MP155K, introduced in 2014, shooting a 12 gauge slug. Not a very big magazine. This is the 9A91, introduced in 1993. Very small, weird-looking auto pistol. Kind of ugly, to be honest. Then we have the MP443 Grach, shooting 9x19 Parabellum, introduced in 2003. Pretty neat looking one. If you've played Rainbow Six Siege, you will be very familiar with this one, the GSH-18, shooting 9x19 Parabellum with this window magazine, which looks pretty cool. Introduced in the year 2000. I love the barrel thread right there, so cool. Then we have the AEK 919K, introduced in 1994. Does have a collapsible stock, fully auto little machine pistol here. Pretty quiet. Next we have the OTS-22 prototype. It actually shoots 9x19 and not 22, so I'm not sure what the 22 is because it was introduced in 1996. Looks very similar to a Mac 10. Probably just a Mac 10 clone. Then we have the UDAV, or UDAV, introduced in 2022, shooting a very unique SP13 round. Haven't seen that before. Let's see how she runs. Oh, this one might be broken. Dang. Well, I guess she doesn't run. How about the OTS-33, shooting 9x18 Makarov? Nice little machine pistol there with a included stock that should hold, maybe not. All right, guess not. A lot of these are modded, so they're not going to be perfect. Then we have a good old Makarov. Look at that thing. Basically just a modern version of the old Makarov. Then we have the MP412 Rex. This shoots 357 with a break action loading 6-cylinder. Very cool. Then we have the PL14, introduced in 2015, shooting 9x19 Parabellum. Pretty interesting sounding one. Very, very low bore access. Another machine pistol, the SR2 Verisk, introduced in 1999, shooting a SP13 round as well, I believe. Stock folds back like that. Pretty cool. Then we have the Jeepard 1995 shooting 9x19 Parabellum. Another very quiet one. For you Battlefield fans, you will absolutely recognize the PP2000. Ironically introduced in 2006, shoots a 9x19 Parabellum. Very high fire rate, super long magazine. And moving on to our grenade launch, we have the RG6, introduced in 1994, shoots a 40mm caseless grenade. This beast is the 6P62, introduced in 2010, shooting a 12.7 by 108mm AP incendiary. This thing is spicy. This entire gun is just ridiculous. Not a huge magazine, but damn does it pack a punch. Next we have the AGS-3. I couldn't find a year for this actually being introduced, or at least it wasn't included in the mod, but this is a pretty unique belt-fed, I want to say grenade launcher? I'm not entirely sure how to load this. Alright, never mind, that thing's too glitchy to load, so we're just gonna skip that one, unfortunately. This is the KSVK, a 12.7 by 108 anti-material rifle introduced in 1997. Look at this bolt on the right side of all places. Oh, missed that one. Very difficult to aim this thing. Then we have the OSV-96, introduced in the year 2000, also shoots the 12.7 by 108 anti-material. Look at that thing. Absolute beast. At least this one is semi-auto. A much more modern looking sniper. This is the T5000, shooting 7.62 by 51 NATO, introduced in 2018. Look at that round there. See if we can hit one of these targets out there. Easy. Oops, those two. Next, we have the SV-98M, introduced in 2000, shooting a 7.62 by 54 Mosin. Next, we have the SV-99, introduced in 1999. This is a 22 long rifle blinker. Also with a really, really unique looking charging handle there. It's basically a straight bolt, but not really. And it doesn't go back. You have to intentionally push it back forward. Then we have the SVCH, introduced in 2016, shooting a 338 Loapua. Look at that skinny little thing there. Pretty neat looking though. Looks very similar to the Ash 12, but this is the VKS. Introduced in 2002, it shoots a very, very interesting round, a 12.7 by 55 long. Look how pointy that thing is. Let's load her up. This is a single shot suppressed sniper? Question mark? Really interesting one. You probably all know what this is. SKS Modern. Introduced in 2018, it shoots a 7.62 by 39 Soviet. Pretty neat. And finally, another classic Battlefield rifle, SV-98, introduced in 2003, shooting the 7.62 54 Mosin. Let's plink these bad boys out here. Maybe. Gotta hit one at least. There we go. There you have it, all of the guns of the modern Russian Federation. Look at the mess we made. Thanks for watching.